Hey guys, so I'm excited to show y'all. All I did was take off my cover, and this is the back of them. So I'll come in closer, let y'all see. Came out really pretty cool. Now this is 2 molds, they're just stuck together with resin right now. That's what's holding them together. They came out really good. And here you can see, I like this mold because you can kind of see through without unmolding and see what the other side looks like. I don't want to unmold yet because we need to fill some of these up a little bit more. So, coming out really good. I am going to mix up some resin, and then we will fill those up basically. This is my cups that I stacked. They're solid. So those will just get thrown in the garbage. I just want to show you. So this is stuck to my mat right here. And if I just gently pull it up, that pulls right up. Oh, we went out of focus for a second. There we go. Pulls right up. A little piece of resin. So, pretty cool. Alright, let's throw some gloves on. So I have some more thin viscosity of Counterculture DIY. These 2 bottles of A and B have not been opened. So we will definitely get our 100 mLs that we want to get, which is great. So I'm going to start with B. Bring this into screen so you can see it. I maybe should have put my gloves on until I open this because I'm not going to be able to do it with a gloved hand. Might not even be able to do it with an ungloved hand. You know, little things. Yeah, can't find what I want. There we go. Did that, and there's still like a film over it. So we'll get that film off of there. Okay, sweet. I'm going to go ahead and on A, I'm going to go ahead and get it open too so that I can glove back up. I know it's off screen, but y'all get the point. The struggle be real. That one, the film came off with the topper, so yay. Okay. Get my hand back in this glove of mine. Oh, there we go. Okay. Sweet. So happy. And I'm going to pour us out. This cup looked dirty, but it's just glitter on the bottom side, so we're good. We're cool. And this one's a little bit yellow, but not as bad as the last round. So, not super worried. Get us a stir stick. If you've watched my other pours and videos of pours, I like B first. Which is fine because it is more runny, more fluid, that works out the best for me. So B in, put my lid on so that I don't mix up my lids. Just will help you in the future because you don't want to cure your lid basically on. Although if you guys watched the last video of this pour, you saw how I was able to get a lid that was stuck on. Must be a little bit of the film on this. I thought it didn't, I thought it peeled off, but there's just like a bit of gluey film. I'll just wipe that off. Cool. Okay. So I'm doing 100 ml of A and B. B went in first. A is going in second. A is definitely thicker. You can do a warm water bath on it first if you would like. Put your bottles in some warm water. Loosen up A a little bit. I find that as long as I'm pouring in a certain temperature that it's been outside, that inside my house is sufficient and I don't necessarily need to warm up A. It does make it more fluid though. So if you're wanting that, you can definitely do that. But I don't have a sink in this space, so it's, for me, that's just kind of hard to do. Okay, so we're 6 minutes in. We're doing better than we were at the last round. We were 19 minutes in before we were stirring. I was like, hey, we're going to get this mixed up quick. Just kidding. The last time. Hey, but it all worked out, right? All worked out. Because those cured up nicely, by the way. I pulled off my cover and I was like, please don't be tacky. They weren't. They weren't. Alright, so I'm going around and around. Making sure my stir stick stays pretty much to the bottom. Gets various parts of the bottom done. I'll sometimes go counterclockwise. Sometimes clockwise. It just kind of all varies what I want to do, which way I want to go. I'll switch up and use my left hand because my right hand, my wrist starts to get a little worn. Let's just say a little worn. But, you know, mix it up. I'll look at the clock so that I know, hey, about 3 minutes. It's not, for me, it's not an exact science. But I find that 3 minute mark is pretty darn perfect for me. So, just keep going round and round and round. Nice and steady as we go. Kind of thing. So that we can try to get this mixed up beautifully clear. And you'll see that when I pull out my stir stick. So I can still see a few cloudiness. I see some bubbles. I see some cloudiness though still. So I know that we're not quite there, but we're not quite at our 3 minute mark either. So I would say this is a difficult spot. Stirring, probably one of my least favorite things. But it's okay. We be good. We be good. I think we're pretty close. It's a little less than 3 minutes, but I can tell this is like nice and clear, not cloudy. I'm going to make sure that I scrape all my edges all through the bottom again and scrape this even, because I want that to get nice and mixed. Okay, so we can let this set up for just a little bit, maybe 3 to 5 minutes. I like to pop it onto the table like that. It just helps pop those bubbles, some of those bubbles to the surface, and gets them to come on up for us, which is beneficial. You need that. Oop, sorry, kicked y'all. I'm going to put these resin bottles away. I'm going to try to make some space because we'll have more than enough resin to fill these and then some. And so I'm hoping to do another mold. I'm hoping to do what do I want to say? I'm I am hoping to do the case that's going to hold them, and then potentially another mold if I find what I want. If I can find it. This is a good time, like while you're waiting, go through whatever you need to. I find keeping myself busy, that's important, because I want to definitely keep myself entertained, is what I want to say, so that I'm not like hovering over it and such. Okay, so I found the other mold that we might end up using. I don't know. We'll see. This space is so tight. Then I try to clear out a spot. Possibly. I want to see if it's level back here. Oh yeah. That's where I'm going to put the dominoes once they're poured. I'll slide them back there so that I can pull this other mold up. Da be da plan. Yeah. Well, those bubbles are coming up nicely. Nicely. We're getting some bubbles, which is what we want. Every time about I get this space cleaned, it just gets a mess again. So it's been close to 3 minutes. Go ahead and pop those surface bubbles. Hit the bottom with just a smidge of heat, just to try to entice a few more to come up. And we're going to get to pour in the clear pretty soon. I have some cups so that we can do our other colors, because I'm going to basically try to do same colors for the yep, lost that train of thought. Goodbye. Just went right out, poof, for our mold that holds the dominoes. I'm going to try to do the same colors. It's my go, you know what? My go. This other, if I end up having, I want to get my supplies out, because I know we'll run into probably a point where we have to work a little bit faster on it, just because, you know, that's resin for you. You gotta cruise at one point. So if I hit that, I want to make sure I have everything I need, which I think I do, which is exciting. Exciting. So look at this. We got a lot more bubbles that have, let's see if it will focus for us. Maybe put on the flash. And you'll see those bubbles. See the bubbles in there? So you're going to have some micro bubbles, but there's a lot there on the surface that we can go ahead and pop with some heat. And then I'm going to pour this in so that we can get rolling. I'm going to start by just pouring some clear into a cup and see where I get to as far as filling these. And then that will tell us how much I have to work with, essentially. I'm not going to do it on that crack. Okay. So I'm just going to basically want these to fill to the top. And we can sit there and we can move the resin around some, so as we don't overflow it. So that's my goal. It's kind of a, I want to say like a very teeterous. You don't want to be too full, but you don't want to be too empty. If you're too full, you'll have this weird edge that would could be sharp. And if you're too down, not full enough, you can also create a weird sharp edge. So kind of a in between, like trying to figure out what the perfect amount, and not each one of these needs the same amount, because like that one right there had been almost all the way full, whereas this one definitely was not full. And I'll probably paint the sides of the dominoes. That way you won't see the clear versus the colored part, because I want you to be able to not tell. You know, hopefully whoever's playing isn't trying to be sneaky and pull one over on their opponent by looking and going, oh, that one's a little bit liney. So that's the one I want. I'm using my silicone brush to make sure that they go to the edge all the way, because I want to make sure that this resin has gone to the corners and to the edges. Some of these fuller ones, it needs a little enticing, and then it will self-level. Some, well, maybe it doesn't. I was like, maybe it needs a little more. This one might need more. We'll see. Yeah, that one's going to need a little more. Fresh off. Yeah, let's just go ahead and pour more into our... I may not have as much as I thought I would left over. It's always the case. I'm like, oh, I'm going to have so much extra. I could pour like 10 things, and then you start using it and you're like, that's not going to go as far as I thought. I either go either or. Either I'm like, oh, I'll only be able to do this, and then I'm like, now I have all this extra resin. Some people measure their molds to get exact, but a lot of times, because I'm fine doing like extra pours or so forth, I just kind of roll with it. Don't worry. Don't worry. Be happy. Right? I think that's a good area to be. I'm going to put that in there because it's got some of the glitter. I just wanted to make sure that that one looks really full. Whoa, that like, I don't know if I was digging deep into them or what. So, let's just try that again. It might have some pretty sharp edges just from the overflow and then being like connected. Like, gracious. This is where it's turned into a hot mess, right? Oh, I pretty much filled. I'm glad I didn't like pour into this last row here, because I sort of filled quite a few of them just with dragging over the resin from the others. Here's some glitter in this big thing. Okay, I think we're about there. So this being a silicone brush, you can use it with resin, and if it were to cure up on your brush, you just peel it right off. Also, the way I clean my tools will clean it right off too. So that one needs a little more right here, and this one needs a little bit more. I've been hesitant to fill them because I knew they were kind of fullish anyway. So I'm just gonna do a cross like that. That seems like a lot of extra resin. Maybe. Yeah, I think next video when we unmold these is going to be a little interesting. That's okay. It's okay. Okay, so I'm going to move that out of my way. Just going to carefully pick them up, plop them down back here. We'll hit those with a little bit of heat in a little bit. You can't see them. I don't think there's really any bubbles. I thought I saw one, but I think it popped itself. It came to the surface, so that's cool. So this is what apparently will make a holder to hold the dominoes. And I say apparently because I've never poured into it before. Never poured in these molds. So I've never put them together, you know, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to see how well or not well it works. Essentially here. So I'm just trying to kind of get them all close together. I'm not too worried. Yeah, there's a couple of the little of these, what I'll do just to kind of, ooh, I didn't mean to do that much, but we'll just sprinkle some in now. So we'll just, I don't know what's going to be top or bottom of these because I don't know, not ever having done them. So we're going to do that just to kind of mix those in and we're not worried about it, right? Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Yeah. I don't think it's going to take much of all these colors, truthfully, because I think it's gonna, it's not a deep mold. It's not very deep at all. So I'm not gonna go crazy. Get my long sticks over here. Alrighty. So if you recall, this was the fun last time. I'm just going to take the lid off. And I'm just going to get down there. I'm not really worried about getting a ton because I don't have a ton of resin to mix it with. But this color's just, I just love that color. It's really, really pretty. And for what we're putting it in with the other colors is stunning too. I think it's just really gorgeous. And this one I was like, oh, I'm gonna throw it away. I didn't, as you can see. I'm trying to get a little more on my stick. We're gonna roll with it. The resin's gonna pull that color right off. Maybe. Maybe. I have a lot of color into just not wanting to be fluid. Basically just trying to get that colorant to come off my stick and mix with the resin. It's doing a little bit better now. Okay, that's better. That's more of what we had. Not exactly, but Again, it doesn't have to be exact. Alrighty, let's go with this green. I don't know why I'm having a hard time with those lids. It's not like they're childproof, but they are definitely adult-proof, apparently. Yeah, we're going to get plenty of the green. This one I think has the most, so. So we got plenty, but again, it needs to mix with the resin. Like, mix up. That's just such a vibrant color. Between that brown and this green, I'm like, whew, they are stunning. I'm telling you, stunning. Just love it. Alright. I'll reach over and grab some other stir sticks. Not going to take much of the micas to get the effect that we want. I do a little bit more white just because I want that white to really shine and pop. So again with the micas, just making sure that you get the dryness of it absorbed by the resin. This resin's getting warm. And that's what I was concerned about, that we're going to hit that point where it's like, alright, we got to pull, we got to move. So we're going like we're cruising. Because I put so much white powder in this one needs some extra stirs to make sure that that fully mixes. We don't end up with a powdery streak. Nobody wants a dry spot in their pancake. Same thing with your resin. Alright, so I'm going to do a little bit of like mixing in a weird way. So I wanted to get some white rolling. I wanted to fill it into my white cup, but I wanted to I don't know if y'all heard my stomach, my goodness. I wanted to not have it all just be white in one spot, so I poured it into a couple of the other colors. Again, I'm not doing any sort of science with this. Y'all see, it's just a crazy mess, and it's going to be a crazy mess as we pour. The idea is just to get it in there and have it be super unique. Not any particular way. You know, I'm just trying to like just make it look fun, you know. We might end up using that other resin for this. I'm doing terrible at judging today. How much I'm gonna need. I'm like, oh, it'll be fine. We're good. I'm like, I may be out. I might have to color for. I'm just slopping resin. I don't want just slopping it. It's not something I like to do. But so I knew that this resin was going to heat up, so I was like, we gotta go a little bit faster. So that's why I didn't even clean like my tools or close anything, because I just know that our time, our work time, is going to be limited. Once you start, it becomes way more complicated. These are pretty. I do love these color combos. I think what I'm going to do is pour just a little bit of the clear into, which is going to give it a neat look, but also give us some filling. Fill this up a little so you'll see, like, I'm not doing anything particular with the clear. I'm just, you know, a little bit of wavy waves going here, but it helps accentuate the other colors too. Helps them form some movement, which is always fun to see. Helps get that resin moving too. I was like, I put clear in there, right? Yep, I did. Okay. Then we'll go around, clean up our cups, and we'll see how bad we did, y'all. This case might need another layer. It might just have to have another layer. It may not fill us all the way in. I'm probably going to try to at least get these two smaller pieces done, because it seems silly to leave them. What I need to do is switch to my other tool, the stir stick. That would allow me to get this better. Yeah, look at that. Okay, we still got some red, quite a bit of red actually, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna scrape these other ones in to this red cup, and then I pour it. We'll see where we ended up. We'll see how we did. One thing I'm liking about this resin that we've done, once I've poured it, once I've mixed the colors in, I haven't really seen bubbles. I don't know if it's the resin or the combination of the resin with these colorings, but I really like that. I haven't had to really worry about going back behind and lasting heat, which speeds up the cure. And if you're already worried about the cure being sped up because you're feeling the heat on it, then I'm not as worried because I'm not adding heat. So that's been nice. And I haven't had to spritz with alcohol, which would also pop our bubbles. So it's been rather nice. I'm just getting as much as I can out of my clear, because I did green the last. It is bringing the green over and mixing that clear with a little bit of green, which is fine. I'm not worried about that. I think that fills that one up pretty good. Let's try to get this one full. It's got a little crevice in it, so I was trying to see if I couldn't get that one even maybe done. Whoop. It's a big old glob of Resin. Pop back up in there, would you? Thank you. Thank you, thank you. It's like, can I get you fit up? This one's gonna be close. Going to be close. We are getting sticky. Sticky, sticky, sticky. Yeah. Well, I think we're gonna end up having to do another pour. So seeing this series would be about 3 episodes, but after tonight, I think we're gonna have to do 4 episodes. Just after how this is gone. Yeah, because this is not full yet. I'm just gonna do a little shimmying of that. This one needs to move into our corners. Make sure we got that crevice filled. So again, and we're not getting much movement off of it. It's getting very thick. So actually I want to do this with this one. This one did not get very full. That's okay. This one did. Yep. And this one did. Basically just sort of manipulating to give us some swirls or some definition here, design. I need to wash my gloves with some rubbing alcohol. So I got my rubbing alcohol, wipe my gloves off, and then I'm going to get the heat gun. Get a little heat on this. That will move this around as well. A little too high. I'm going to make sure some bubbles come up and get popped. And so you can see that we can start to move the resin a little bit with the heat as well. You just want to make sure you don't put your heat gun in the resin. You don't want to stay in one spot too much without some movement. Just like if you're drying hair, if you've dried hair before, like we're spraying some of the flakes up on there, which works. And then I'm just hitting these dominoes really quick. I don't think they need much, but just a gentle little blast of heat to them. I should have probably put them over a little bit. Okay. Cool. That's fun. I think that's looking good. So now it's the fun part. Not really. This is probably worse than stirring resin. And cleaning up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all these lids on first to everything. That green I'm going to have everywhere. If you recall the last video, I had green all over me. Green is a mess. Oh, I think I put the brown. I don't think it's going to matter. I put the brown on the red. Okay. It's all good. those done. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably just slide this over so that we can put our top on. That's what I'll do. So I want to be able to put our tote on. Y'all, I'm going to sneeze again. Whoa, goodness gracious. I did that in the last video. That's what I'm in again. You're probably like, if you haven't watched the last video, you're going to be like, you haven't sneezed this video. Well, I hadn't. But I did last video. So, just kind of funny. I'm just getting kind of an initial quick wipe on those sticks. And then I am going to wipe my mat because I got it really dirty with those colorants and I don't want that to stick to my mat. I don't even know, you can kind of see it in the video what I'm doing. Just over here with this mat, trying to get it all pretty again. Normally I wouldn't worry about wiping my mat, but because that was colorant and it wasn't going to probably be fully cured resin. So, I just wanted to clean it up. Alright, let's slide you this way. So that's over to the side. I'll bring our tools to clean. I think I've somehow transferred wet resin back in here. I've got partial projects going, you know. All the fun. Alright, let's get our tote on these so that we don't have to worry about them. Let's see if this one's going to be long enough. Probably not. Let me get my little bit longer one because I do not want to have that go into the side of one. This one is potentially not as wide, but it definitely is long enough. Okay, those are covered. Yay! Exciting. Now, the paper cups, we just stack them and let them cure. That's easy. Easy peasy. Now the rest of our stuff, I get our rubbing alcohol and I work to put that on a paper towel and work to clean them. The colorants are the worst because you got to get all that colorant off. Well, I mean, you don't have to, but I try to get as much as I can. The seams don't always on the side get the very best done, but at least try to. And it's just a matter of just working at it, applying some pressure. Just keep working towards getting a clean surface on it. And I'm still using the same paper towel because at this point it's like, what can you do to hurt the stick that you're cleaning? Not much, because if anything, you're going to get it a smidge better. And it may not be perfect, but it will be a smidge better. And we'll get them wiped again. I'll probably even do this other one again because I see some colorant where my hand was holding it, basically. So, and then I'm essentially just trying to get as much of the colored ones done with this one paper towel. And these are the, you know, like, not a full-size paper towel. I don't want to say they're half, because they're not really. They're a little more than half, I feel like, of a normal. A 3/4 paper towel. Okay, so this one is pretty well done. That's what I love about the silicone stuff. It's like, just as long as you take care of it, and I suppose at some point it will start to wear out eventually, but for the most part, here we're pretty good. And so then we're still just kind of working our way through getting all of our little star sticks cleaned up. And I would say they're pretty darn good. This one I must not have cleaned very well the other night, or one of my times just failed to clean it super well. I looked over at that one, I was like, there's a big old chunk of stuff I could get off it. Okay, then here's our silicone cup. Yes, this is the one I've been using to do those, but you know what? This is just plain resin. I mean, yes, it will cure up, but because I scrape, it's no fun. So I just keep kind of rolling. If you haven't watched other videos, I try to kind of tap on all the things in each video, just in case you haven't watched a previous video or a previous series or something. You can kind of get where I'm at and where I'm coming from. But I use 99% rubbing alcohol. I get mine from Amazon, but their bottles do not have a great spout. Do better, Amazon, on my bottle caps. Nah, it's fine. I put them on my subscribe and save, and I got like, I don't even remember, maybe a dozen bottles. I haven't even gone through them all, and that was like a year ago. No, I don't like do this on a daily basis, so take that for what you will. But I put it in the Equate brand bottle because that spout is my fave. If this bottle gives out on me, that cup gives out on me ever, I'm gonna hope that Equate hasn't changed their bottle cap. So then, because even though I had cleaned that one with this one, I'm going ahead and getting whatever part this was, A or B, I don't know which, wiped out of my silicone cups, because those will not cure. They will remain tacky and gross. It's funny that I looked for that other mold and then didn't even use it. But you know what? Now it's out. I found what I wanted. And when this cures up, I'll have to mix up a little bit more anyway to top off that. And then what I will do is top those off and do my other mold that I was going to. So, just Porter Fresh paper towel. You can keep these like wet like that, that's fine, because it's just the rubbing alcohol. Let it air dry. Shouldn't take long for it to air dry, but I just, you know, I'm going to try to get the outside in case my gloves had some residue on it. Clean it up, and then I'll be ready for the next pour. So there we go. Hope y'all are enjoying this next series and such. Hopefully weather continues to be fall weather so that I can still pour resin. Once it goes away, we will be doing some UV resin. But for now, I'm going to try to get as many of these episodes recorded and in, because I know when I first started, oh, I knew this glove was going to do it. I could feel it disintegrating when it was on me, and I just pulled it, and voila, it just all came apart. All good. What was I going to say? I know when I first started, I loved watching pours and maybe not so much UV resin, but I think everybody, to each their own, whatever their preference is. I just enjoyed watching the pours and learning about that because that's what I thought resin was all about, and then I discovered UV resin. So we'll be doing a little bit of both, and if you don't like one, just skip over that series, and hopefully I can keep one coming every week. By the time this comes out, we've more than passed a year, which is phenomenal that I've been doing this weekly for over a year now. I intend to just try to keep that up as best as I can with my crazy busy life, but this is what I love to do. It's kind of my joyful place, my peaceful, so I hope you guys find that as well. If you have questions, comments, definitely let me know. Shoot me a message, write a comment. If there's something particular you want to see, drop it in the comments. Let me know what it is, and maybe I'll actually do a series on it and you can learn something that you were wanting to see. I'm more than willing to hear out suggestions and get some thoughts on that. So, you know, I'm all about it, being creative and having fun. So, anywho, I hope you guys have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.